how to become a Sothapanna. By listening to Dhamma or by meditating? That is a very popular question, and that is a very big question that people argue about. Many people believe that one can become Sothapanna by meditating. So we need to understand whether it's possible or not. Because I say that you shouldn't believe it, you should try and see from examples from here and there, and then from Thripitaka, and see if it matches and if it is correct. Then you believe what is correct. So if we look at the Thripitaka in the Mahavagga Pali 1, page 84, and in the Mahavagga Pali 1, page 86, they talk about Sariputta and Moggallana, the two chief disciples, Upatissa and Kolita. Before they became monks, they were Upatissa and Kolita. So how did they become Sothapanna? They listened to, in the Thripitaka it says, they listened to Assaji Maharahatan Wahanse and understood the Dhamma. Ye Dhamma hetu pabhava tesang hetu tathagato aha tesancheo nirodho evam vadi mahasamano. I think that is what Assaji Thero said, and then from that they understood the whole Dhamma concept. So in summary, the cause and effect theory is what is explained in there. So that is what they understood, but they understood by listening to Assaji Thero. So this is what we are trying to gather from here. And then moving on to Majjhima Nikaya 2, page 73, Upali Gruhapati, how he became Sothapanna, it clearly says by listening to Dhamma from Lord Buddha. So that is another example. And I'm sure you have all heard about the first five who became Sothapanna, which is Konnanja Vappapadya Mahanama Assaji, by listening to Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra. They were listening to Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra. So they were listening. They were meditating before. They were meditating all their life before, trying to become Sothapanna, trying to find the ultimate happiness, but they couldn't. So then they listened to Tathagata Wahanse, they listened to the Lord Buddha, and then comprehended the Dhamma and became Sothapanna. So that is another example. Another example is Majjhima Nikaya 3, 573rd page, Nandokavada Sutra. 500 lady monks attained Margapala. They became noble by listening to Nanda Kumara's Deshana. So they were listening to Nanda Kumara and became Sothapanna. So that is another example. And there are so many examples in Mahavagga Pali, from Mahavagga Pali 1, from page 25 to 87. They are explaining about Bimbisara, Uruvela Danawa, and Yasakula Putra, the 500 friends, his relatives, his mother, his wife, Vimala, Subhadra, Punnaji, Gavampati, all of them, they have been explained in this Mahavagga Pali 1 as comprehending Dhamma by listening to a Dhamma discourse. So that is how important listening to Dhamma is. And that is how one can become Sothapanna. And in the Thripitaka, there is no one place where it says one became Sothapanna by meditating. So that is very important. No one has become Sothapanna by meditating. When I say no one, there are 3 types of Buddha, right? The first Buddha is Samma Sambuddha. Samma Sambuddha is Tathagatayan Vahanse, who attains Nibbhana, who becomes enlightened by meditating. He is one who becomes enlightened by meditation. So that is one person. The second person is Pacceka Buddha, will become enlightened by meditating as well. They won't listen to, they won't become Sothapanna by listening to someone's discourse. Right? When Samma Sambuddha attains Nibbhana or attains enlightenment, there is no one who can explain Dhamma. There is no Dhamma. There is no one who knows Dhamma to explain Dhamma. So he discovers it by himself. Right? So he finds the real truth by himself by meditating. So that is the first person who comprehends Dhamma by meditating. The second person, which is Pacceka Buddha, will do the same, but he cannot explain the Dhamma to anyone else. The third type is the Shravaka Buddha. Shravaka Buddha. So all the Arihatun Vahansela comes under Shravaka Buddha. Any noble person comes under Shravaka Buddha other than the Samma Sambuddha and Pacceka Buddha. So anyone else would fall under Shravaka Buddha. Shravaka itself means listening to them, listening. Shravaka. And I'm sure you have heard about Supatipanno Bhagavato Shravaka Sangho. Jupatipanno Bhagavato Shravaka Sangho. Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Shravaka Sangho. Samiji Patipanno Bhagavato Shravaka Sangho. It always says Shravaka Sangha. Shravaka means you have to listen. Shravaka is listening. So you have to listen in order to become Sothapanna. Once you become Sothapanna is a different story. I will get to that after because one needs to become Sothapanna. One needs to get to the Samma Ditti before he can walk the path. From the eightfold path, the first step is Samma Ditti. Before you go to the next one, you need to make sure you understand this properly, clearly. So that is number one. So once you get to the Shravaka Buddha, and also I'm sure you have heard about Sutava Arya Shravako. Every place they say Sutava Arya Shravaka. And then Asrutava Putajjana. Asruta means the person who has not listened. Asrutavat Putajjana. Putajjana is a person who does not understand Dhamma. So that is one main thing that one needs to understand when walking the path. Before walking the path, to get to the path, you need to get to the path. That is how once you become Sothapanna is when you get to the path. Then you understand how the path is, where to walk. You see the light. Until then you haven't seen any light. Now you have seen the light. You know where the light is. Now you have to walk towards the light. You know which way the light is as well. You know when you are walking towards it, and you know when you are walking away from it. Until you see the light, you don't know anything. You're just walking in the dark. You don't know where the light is. You have never seen a light. You're just trying to look for a light. So you're walking up and down everywhere, all over the place, without any idea as to where to go, what to do. But now you have seen the light. Is when you become a Sothapanna. So in order for one to become Sothapanna, they have to listen to Dhamma. That is how you comprehend the Dhamma. When you listen to Dhamma, there is something called the Vinivarana Mohata. That one needs to understand. Vinivarana Mohata. Vinivarana is Nivarana. There is something called the Panchanivarana. Panchanivarana are called five hindrances. Those are something that blocks or obstructs the path or seeing the path. So you need to inactive these, or these hindrances have to be inactive in order for one to understand the Dhamma. At the moment of understanding Dhamma, these hindrances should be inactive. The 5 hindrances are Kamacchanda, Vyapada, Thinamidda, Uddacca, Kukkucca and Vichikicha. I will run through it quickly. Kamacchanda is the Kama, the Pancha Kama, the 5 senses. You attach to 5 senses and going behind the 5 senses. So Kamacchanda is Cha Anda. You are lost in the process of going behind senses. A normal worldly person is like that. So when someone is attached with raga, that person cannot concentrate on the Dhamma. He cannot understand the Dhamma when he is attached to something and thinking, for example, it could be anything. It could be about a lovely song. It could be about a nice image. So he is after the asada. He is concentrating with raga. He is concentrating, so he cannot focus on the adinava or nissarana. So he cannot comprehend the Dhamma. Therefore, Kamacchanda, Vyapada is hatred. When you have hatred inside, you can't understand Dhamma. Thinamidda is when you are lazy. It's a state where you are really feeling lazy and you don't feel like you're not gathering anything from what you are listening. Uddacca, Kukkucca, Uddacca is you have a lot of ego. Kukkucca is it's a opposite version of ego, but you think, I am someone who can't do that. I am this. So you put yourself lower than the normal your status. So you think, no, I don't think I can do that. So when that is called Kukkucca. Uddacca is he thinks that he can do everything. He's the man kind of thing. I am the man kind of thing. But on the other side, Kukkucca means I don't think I can do that kind of mentality. And Kukkucca, Vichikicha is when you are in brief words, it's like you're suspecting. You're not open-minded. You get to one side and you always look in a suspicious manner. You're not believing. You don't have any belief. For one to understand, you have to be open-minded and actually putting it into your examples, real life situations, and trying to see it practically. Then one can understand it easily. If one comes to one side and think, no, this guy is trying to show off, this guy is lying, I don't think this is true, then the other person finds it difficult to understand. So that is those are the 5 hindrances. So these 5 hindrances should be inactive at the time of understanding Dhamma or listening to Dhamma. So one thing the noble person can do, whoever's explaining Dhamma can do, is he can inactive these 5 hindrances with the aura and with his Arya Maitreya, the noble loving and kindness. He spreads the loving and kindness. He can inactive these to a certain level. So because his objective is to make the other person understand, or make the other people understand the Dhamma. So he will spread loving and kindness. May everyone understand this. So with the power, they just gets inactive to a certain level, but the person himself has to put some effort to get this inactive as well, right? So what one needs to understand when one is listening to Dhamma is aswada, how it's created. Asada, you know about asada, how people are trying to go behind the six senses and trying to achieve asad, or gratification or pleasure, from the trying to fulfill the six senses. So that process one needs to understand, and one needs to understand that trying to fulfill does not fulfill. It's a waste, a useless process. One needs to understand that. So how one understands is when they compare and contrast, they put it into real life situations. What did I try to achieve by doing this? How many movies have I watched? How many restaurants have I tasted? Have I gone to taste? Kind of thing. So you just put real life situations into your life and then see if it works, and then have I fulfilled. So this, when one understands it, then you understand anicca dukkha anatta, that it is not fulfilling. Then what is the point of trying to fulfill, going in this samsara, is what you understand, right? So this is the understanding that one needs to get.